What's up, Met fans? Welcome back. Talking Mets with Rob. How's everybody doing? What's up, guys? How you doing? To Talking Mets with Rob. Pre-game for the Mets and Pirates. Obviously, it's raining outside right now. Hopefully, we can get the game in. But once again, guys, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed another series victory for our New York Mets. Once again, the New York Mets take another series. That's exactly what we continue to do over and over again. And that's exactly what this team continues to do, staying ahead in the division. It's going to 3.5 games, to 4.5 games, to 4 games. They've been in that area, and that's exactly what we need. How's everybody doing? Don't forget, guys, if you enjoyed this stream, please hit on that like button. If you're new to the channel, thank you for tuning in. Hit on that subscribe button, everybody. What's up, everybody in the chat? Say what's up. Don't be shy. Hayden, Coolspin, Cole, Frankie. What's up, buddy? How's everybody doing? Don't forget, hit on that like button, guys. Let's get this stream out for a lot of people. We're going to have some fun tonight. I'll be with you until 6 o'clock tonight. Nice little 1-hour show talking about our Mets. Exactly, Hayden. The storm is brewing outside. What's up, guys? Frankie. How you doing? Thank you for tuning in. LFGM, always. Yes, Cole, I did hear about the Frazier news. I'm editing my video now about Frazier. I'm on the fence with Frazier, but I'll give you a little bit more information in my video that I'm gonna post tomorrow. It is interesting that the Mets are looking for another left-handed bat who can also play second base, most likely can play third base and play the outfield. So that's something that we have to look at with Frazier. He's not a power guy. He's an average guy. He's batting .326. So that's actually something that we can actually look into as well, which I will be doing in my video tomorrow. You know, the Mets are going to be on everybody, and that's what we have to. That's something that we're not used to, and we're going to do it. Connor, how you doing, buddy? Thank you for tuning in. LFGM. So yeah, when it comes to Frazier, he's not the big power bat. You know, he's not Chris Bryant. He's not Josh Donaldson. And he's technically not a third baseman. He's a second baseman. Now, it is interesting to think, why would the Mets look out for a player who is a second baseman and can play the outfield? Well, that turns me into Jeff McNeil. I have a feeling that the Mets are falling out of favor with Jeff McNeil. And they might make that move because just think of it this way. If you look at the numbers from Adam Frazier, he's batting .326. He has 4 home runs and I think 30 RBIs, if I'm not mistaken. So he's basically Jeff McNeil 2 years ago. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Mets thrown McNeil in that deal. You know, he's a head case. He's a fan favorite. We all know that. But it looks like the Mets are falling out of favor with this guy. And I wouldn't be surprised if he goes into a deal with Frazier because it doesn't make sense to get a second baseman who also can play the outfield, who is a guy who hits for average, but not a lot of power, which is Jeff McNeil 2 years ago. So I'll give you a lot more information in my video that I'm going to post tomorrow, guys. So please tune into that. All right, guys. So tonight's game, well, if it happens, which will be interesting, we will have to see if they play tonight. It's not looking pretty, but it stopped raining just now, so they might get it in. We got a few hours before the game. So as you guys know, Taijuan Walker is on the mound tonight against JT Brubaker for the Pirates. A little info on JT Brubaker. He is a lot better than what his record shows. He throws hard. He's got really good command of his breaking ball. You know, I don't think he's gonna shut down this Mets offense, but again, lately that's what the Mets been doing. The Mets have been scoring runs, but they've been waiting too long in the game. You know, you have to wait to the 5th, 6th inning. I mean, you can turn in any Met game and not even waste your time in the first 5 innings because they don't do nothing. As soon as the 6th, 7th, and 8th happens, and 9th, they realize they're playing baseball. So with the Mets, with what's going on right now, the Mets need to start scoring runs early. You can't keep on waiting to the 5th, 6th inning, falling behind, have to come back. Sooner or later, it's going to take a toll on this team. So right now, let's take advantage of a team that's not good in the Pirates. They're not that good. We all know that. Could we take 3 out of 4? I don't think that should be an issue. sweeping any team, no matter how bad they are, is very hard, especially a 4-game set. But take 3 out of 4. That guarantees us, at the very least, leading the division. And we might even add a game or two by winning 3 or 4. And that's what we have to do. All right, guys. So let's get some questions. Whatever you want to talk about, please tell me in the comments, guys. And I'll answer your questions. And look, the Mets won another series. That's all we can ask for. It was a very frustrating game yesterday because the Mets had the bases loaded with nobody out, with Lindor, Dominic Smith, and Pete Alonso up. They couldn't even score a run. They didn't even touch the ball. They struck out, all 3 of them. When you got bases loaded, what I don't understand, and this was what kills me about these guys, clearly Boxberger could not throw the ball over the plate. And now you have a guy like Lindor who, acts like he never's been at the plate before. And, that second pitch, I'm watching the replay of it now. The second pitch, the 1-0 count that to Lindor was right down the middle, inside corner. He takes. That's a ball he should have drove over the right field wall. And that pisses me off because then he swung at a ball out of the strike zone, and then he takes the ball basically right down the middle. And here we go. Dominic Smith's trying to hit the ball out of the ballpark, and Alonso the same thing. All they needed to do was get a couple of base hits, and we tied the game. At the time, the game was only 3-0. So it's frustrating, but we took 2 out of 3. We got to look at the positives, and that's exactly what we're going to do. All right, guys, let me take your questions. I'll pull them up right now. Hayden, what's up? Who do you think will win the home run derby? Well, I guess I got to go with my guy, Pete Alonso, but he's got a lot of competition. I'm going to root for Alonso, but I wouldn't be surprised if Ohtani wins because he's a beast. And in Colorado, who knows, It can be the guy nobody expects, but I'm going to go with my guy, Alonso. But Ohtani's going to be trouble. All right, here we go. Cole says, the one game Nimmo doesn't start, we have no offense. Yeah, I know. I mean, it was a day-night doubleheader. Not put him in the lineup. I get that. He's not in the lineup again today. I'm going to give you guys the lineup right now. I'm going to put it across your screen so you guys can see. He's not in the lineup again. You got VR batting leadoff. You got Lindor. You got the same lineup as last night, except Pilar is playing center field. Nimmo's not, and VR is playing third base. Who's leading off? So Nimmo's not in the lineup again. I don't know if there's an injury concern. Maybe they just want to give him a few days off. I don't know. But I don't like that move. But, VR, he's been struggling. Maybe they want to get him going. That's why they put him in the leadoff spot. We got to wait and see. But Nimmo should be in the lineup. It's frustrating. All right. Jed, how you doing? Will the walk-off with Ignite McNeil? Jed, I'm not 100% sure on that because for some reason I don't trust McNeil anymore. I think he became very, very home run happy in 2019 in the second half, even though he was pretty good in 2019 in the second half. I mean, he was good all of 2019. He was hitting for average, high average in the beginning of 2019, and then his average dropped like 30 points because he was going for the fences in 2019. 2020 was a disaster, and right now he hasn't been good. Jed, in my opinion, I don't think it will because I still think he has that home run mentality that it's either a hit or miss with McNeil, and McNeil should not be batting nowhere under 300. He should be averaging 300 or more. And that's what's very frustrating because his team doesn't need another power hitter. They need a guy to get on base. And if Jeff McNeil was hitting the way he was in 2019 in the first half, he can be our number 2 hitter to get on base, drive in Nimmo or knock Nimmo over, go first to third, stuff like that. But Jeff McNeil, I don't know Jeff McNeil. It's frustrating because he's a much better hitter than what he's showing. But I don't think it's going to ignite him. I love it to, but I don't think it will. But we got to wait and see. McNeil's in the lineup tonight. He's batting 5th. So we got to wait and see. I hope he does. I mean, this lineup needs any offense we can get. So we just got to wait and see, guys. Jed, thanks for the question. Cole, let me pop that up real quick. I would let Conforto go. He's not clutch. You know what? It's a tough decision for the Mets. When it comes to Conforto, he's a very streaky guy. We all know that. You know, I think he's 5 for like 49, maybe 50 now since he came back from injury. You know, it sucks because we really need him right now. But again, when you really think about it, you know, this is what Conforto is. He's always been like that. He's had one good year, one bad year, one good year, one bad year. We got all you guys know that. You see the stats. I don't have to tell you that. I think the Mets are going to offer him a contract, but it's not going to be exactly what he probably wants. But again, there's going to be a team out there that's going to give him $200 million. I'm telling you that right now. You know, he's 28 years old. I wouldn't be surprised if he can get a 6-year deal for $200 million. I don't think the Mets are going to go that far. I think they can go 6 years, but they might give him like 160, maybe 170. So, you know, I love Conforto. He's a homegrown guy. He was a big part of the World Series run that we had in 2015. He was one of our faces of our franchise face of the franchise before Alonso. You know, when David Wright was basically on his way out, basically, Conforto should have been the guy offensively as a position player. And it sucks because I would love for Conforto to be a part of this team long term. And it doesn't seem like it might happen. But you know what? If you got a guy like Chris Bryant in a trade, I honestly, if you only had to give one big contract during the offseason, would you rather give it to Conforto or Chris Bryant? My money would be on Chris Bryant. I would give $200+ million for Chris Bryant. The reason for that, only because if you do lose Conforto, you can slide Chris Bryant right into right field right away. And he's a better hitter than Conforto. And Chris Bryant's not streaky. When he's good, he's good. And I think the Mets have a lot of questions. But again, it really depends on what the Mets do during the trade deadline. If the Mets get Chris Bryant at the trade deadline, I really think they're going to look strongly into keeping him because Chris Bryant is so versatile. He can play third. He can play first. He can play right. He can play left. The Mets might see that, and especially Sandy Alderson, who loves versatility, wouldn't mind giving a 28-year-old Chris Bryant $200 million over 6 years, maybe 7. So you got to look at that. But look at the trade deadline. It'll probably tell you a lot more answers than give you questions when it comes to Michael Conforto. Let me get to the next question. I saw Connor put up one. Thoughts on the dead ball? I'm not shocked, but, you know, I'm kind of 50-50 with the dead ball because I think Major League Baseball has some things up their sleeves when it comes to that. And you probably heard it before about what Pete Alonso said about Major League Baseball changing the ball based on free agents. I wouldn't put it past Major League Baseball. But with the dead ball, I know what they were trying to do because it was a joke in 2019. I mean, every pop-up went out. It seemed like it went out. And it was a home run. So offense was high. It was crazy. It was a joke, actually. I mean, really good pitchers were looking like minor league players in 2019. But I think it's less the dead ball and more about the hitters not really good at the actual problem when it comes to hitting. They don't adjust, and they just go by what they know. Oh, wow, my batting stance is perfect. I don't have to change anything. But when do you see a guy shorten up their swing? You seen it yesterday with the Met game against the Brewers. Did any of Lindor, Alonso, and Smith, did any of them try to shorten up just to get a base hit or at least a fly ball to the outfield to get a run home with nobody out? They didn't do that. The dead ball, I think, it's clearly affecting a lot of hitters. But let's blame the hitters more than the dead ball. Just because a dead ball doesn't go 440 feet when you hit it doesn't mean you can't hit. Learn how to hit. A dead ball can still get you a ball in the hole, can still get you a line drive in the gap. These guys don't adjust. It's always the launch angle. And the launch angle, because of a dead ball, is useless at this point. Unless you hit the ball square on the sweet part of the bat, the ball's not going out this year. And we've seen it. Connor, thank you for the question. Next question, Cole, what's up? I will give Conforto more than $12 million a year. I think he can get, you know what? I don't think money is an issue. I think it's years. I don't think anybody minds, I don't think Conforto's a $20 million a year player, but I can see somebody giving him $17, $18 million over 6 years. So I think he'll get more than that because he's already making like $9 million now. So, I mean, I don't think he's just going to get a $3 million raise. As much as he's streaky, he's still one of the, people are going to consider him a really good to great player. And his defense is really good. People can say, maybe they can fix something that they see. Another team might see it. And that might be the issue. That might be a thing. But I think he's going to get at least between $15 and $18 million with Conforto. Cool spin. Yes. Let me give you an update on that. I packaged it up, ready to go. I go to work tomorrow. I'm going to head right to the UPS store, and I'm going to get it out tomorrow, probably late afternoon. I'm going to get it out. So hopefully you'll have it by Monday. So it's all ready to go. It's actually right over there. So it's packaged up. I'm ready to give it. I like to go to the UPS store. What I did with Hayden, I kind of went to a place that is like a vendor for UPS and FedEx, and they held the freaking package even though I paid for Express for 4 days. And Hayden, it took a little longer for Hayden to get it, but I'm going to go right directly to the UPS store and get it out to you. I got your information, so we're good to go. So it should be there by hopefully Monday. You know how this mail service is with the weekend. So hopefully you get it on Monday. I mean, you're in New York, so it shouldn't take that long. All right, guys, give me a second. So let's go over the lineup tonight. So obviously you've seen it across your screen. It's rolling across. VR is leading off. Lindor's second. Smith third. Alonso fourth. Jeff McNeil fifth. Conforto sixth. Pilar is seventh. McCann is eighth. And Walker is on the mound batting ninth. So, guys, it's basically the same lineup as yesterday. Again, Nimmo's not in the game again. Little shocked by that. But, again, he did play yesterday. So today technically is his first day off. So I think putting VR in the leadoff spot, I think is a plan that Rojas has or the analytics team has to get VR going because he has been struggling. Why not put him in the leadoff spot? Let's see if he can get him going because let's be honest, during the bench mob days of May, early and most of June, VR was a big reason why this team is still in first place. So I think the Mets want to get him going, but I think it's also a sign. And somebody brought it up about Frazier. I do think Adam Frazier, when it comes to a deal, is probably – now, I'm going to go over his contract in the video tomorrow, but it's not going to cost as much as you might think. And it might be intriguing to the Pirates to put Jeff McNeil in a deal and maybe a lower-level prospect. The reason why I said it because McNeil still got about 3 years left before he's actually eligible to be a free agent. So there's control, which Pittsburgh likes. They don't want to pay nobody. And then a minor league prospect or, a lower level prospect. So with Adam Frazier, it's an option. And you already see with Sandy Alderson right now. He's looking at Chris Bryant and he's looking at Adam Frazier. Obviously, Josh Donaldson as well, but I think still that's a long shot with Josh Donaldson. But with Chris Bryant and Adam Frazier, what do they both have in common? Versatility. They both can play multiple positions in the infield and both can play multiple positions in the outfield. Sandy Alderson loves versatility. You see all the guys he got in the offseason when it comes to the bench. VR can play second. VR can play third. Pilar can play all aspects of the outfield. Peraza can play third. He can play second. Even Dominic Smith, the reason why they kept him around because he could play left field and he could play first base. And even McNeil, he can play second, he can play right, he can play left. Sandy Alderson loves versatility, but I think they fell out of favor with Jeff McNeil. And I wouldn't be surprised if Jeff McNeil is in one of these deals, only because Jeff McNeil is not the same player that we thought he would be. A 300-plus hitter. He might get his 12 to 15 home runs, but let's be honest. Jeff McNeil is not a power hitter. I don't care what he thinks. He's not a power hitter. He needs to shorten up his swing, level out his bat, fuck the launch angle, and get on base for the big guys behind him. And that's what he has to do. Let me check the comments, guys. Sorry about that. Koosman, thoughts on Mr. Jose Clutch Peraza? You said it yourself. Clutch Peraza. He is batting like 210, but it always seems like he goes up in a big spot and gets it done. I was at the Yankee game when he almost hit the grand slam. He got the interference double. I mean, there was even the guy next to me, one of my friends next to me, said, he goes, "Oh, Peraza's up, Clutch Peraza." Exactly what he said. And we both thought that Peraza was good. I didn't think he was going to hit it that far. I thought he was going to get a base hit, no doubt. And he did it again. It's one of the moves. See, like with Peraza, with PR, VR, all these guys could have started for almost every team in Major League Baseball. What is amazing about that is that they chose the Mets. They didn't have to choose the Mets. They could have easily went to Pittsburgh. They could have went to Baltimore. They could have went to a lot of teams to start, to show their worth, and get multiple year contracts, which, let's be honest, if you expect these guys to be back next year, you guys got to understand they're probably not. Because there is going to be a team that's be like, wow, look what these guys did when they step in. I want him to play second base every day in Peraza. I want PR in the outfield every day. So, and the Mets can't promise them that because you got McNeil. You got Smith. You got most likely Conforto. Now, things can change. Now, if it was up to me, I'd take Pilar and get rid of Conforto. Because at least Pilar can hit for average. He can hit his occasional home runs. But he's a player. And he has the numbers to show for it. And Conforto's just too streaky. So don't expect these guys to be back next year. Because these guys got the opportunity to play almost every day with all these injuries. And it shows teams that they're I mean, Pilar is not old. And Peraza is not old. I think Peraza is like 27, 28 years old. And only a couple of years ago with Cincinnati, he was pretty good. Same thing with VR. He had an all-star season 3 years ago with Baltimore. You know, and the same thing with Pilar. He wasn't great, but he was still really good. So, Peraza, I like him a lot. Cole says, I'm going to get the rest of your questions, guys. Don't worry about it. Josh, I see your question. And I see who you talked about, Sonny Gray. I'm going to get to that in a second. Thank you for tuning in. Hit on that like button. McNeil has way more value than Frazier. Maybe. You know, the Cubs, you see, the problem with we have to know what the other teams think of McNeil. Because the Cubs might see him as a guy who's not that good. But the Pirates are not looking at how good these guys are going to be. They're looking at control. And McNeil to the Pirates has 3 years of control left. That's what and he's getting paid less than Frazier. That's what they're looking at. That's what Pittsburgh doesn't want. I think Frazier's contract, he's making like $4.5 million. I don't think McNeil's anywhere near there. He's like maybe 2. So I think the value to the Mets, I think they can go either way. But at least Adam Frazier is hitting for a high average, which I think the Mets are looking for, which they thought they were going to get from McNeil. Dwight, thank you so much for subbing, man. I really appreciate it. LFGM. So the value for the Mets, yes. But when it comes to a trade, I think the Pirates value McNeil, and I think the Mets are just looking for somebody. If they can't get Chris Bryant or Josh Donaldson, I think they want a guy like Frazier who they expected McNeil to be, which is a 300-plus hitter. Somebody who gets on base for the power guys behind him. I mean, McNeil shouldn't be batting 5th. You know what I'm saying? McNeil should be batting second in this lineup. But you could never put him at second because he's not the same guy in 2019. That's the problem. And the value, I completely understand what you're saying, Cole, but the bigger issue here is Frazier could be more valuable to the Mets in this lineup right now than McNeil is because we don't need power. And McNeil is trying to still hit home runs. Now, it was great to see him hit that ball up the middle to win the game yesterday, but he has to continue to do that. Or I'm telling you right now, Sandy Olson will get rid of him. So I understand. We agree to disagree, but I do think Frazier can be a valuable asset to this team. Hey, Nelson, how you doing, buddy? All right, Josh, I'm going to get it right now. Why Nimmo is not in the lineup? Well, if Josh, obviously Nimmo played the first game yesterday. He didn't play the second game of the doubleheader. But if you really think of it, Josh, he did basically play yesterday. So it was probably a scheduled day off that Rojas and the analytics team looked at. So that's the only reason. I don't think Nimmo's hurt or anything like that. I think they're giving him a day off. We got a 4-game series with the Pirates. This Pirates team we should handle no matter who's in the lineup. So I just think they just give him a day off because he did play yesterday. And let me get into another one, Josh. Sonny Gray. No. We've seen him what he did with the Yankees. He's not a New York guy. He's got great stuff. He's pitched well for Cincinnati, but it is Cincinnati. I don't think he can perform well in this New York market. And I think it will be too much of a chance and a risk for the Mets to take Sonny Gray. Especially you're probably going to have to give a decent prospect of maybe more to get Sonny Gray. And I don't think the reward outweighs the risk in this case. So I don't think Sonny Gray, honestly. But good questions, Josh. Listen, everybody, they're chill, man. I like these people, man. They're great. Like I said, we get the bad people every now and then. We get the crazy people. It's all good. It's a little more calmer. It's a little more of a mood. We're enjoying the Mets wins. The first place. We're just enjoying stuff right now. People have their opinions. People have, they like to say what they want to say, and that's cool. I love the questions. Like I said, I'm probably during the weekend, guys. Just so you guys know, I'm gonna do a Q&A live stream for about a few hours, and I'm gonna give you guys news right now. The day of the trade deadline, from around 12 o'clock in the afternoon, we're gonna go right to the trade to the 4 o'clock deadline hour. So we're gonna have like a trade deadline special. So I hope you guys tune in, and I really appreciate it. All right. Let's see. Hayden, yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly what I was talking about. Frazier is very versatile. Sandy Olson loves versatility. And I do think Frazier is exactly what the Mets thought McNeil was going to be. He's hitting 326 right now. Check out his stats. 326, 4 home runs, I think 30 RBIs. Now, he's at the top of the lineup. As you see tonight, he's batting leadoff for the Pirates. And we pay the Pirates the next 7 games. This is the last 4 games before the All-Star break, and then we go to Pittsburgh, which I will be in Pittsburgh, by the way. So, again, Frazier is versatile. He can play left field. He can play right field. If I'm not mistaken, he's playing second base tonight. And he can play – I don't think he can play third base, but I think in a pinch, you could probably throw him at third base. So, it's good to see that he can actually play multiple positions, which Sandy Olson loves. We all do. Cole, we all do. We all miss Jeff McNeil 2018, 2019. I don't know why he changed it up. In the second half of the year, he was batting over 300. And as soon as he, I think he was batting like 340, 345. And then in the second half, he started to get home run happy. And he dropped his average to like 318 or something like that. Almost 30 points. And Jeff McNeil is not a power hitter. And I don't know if it was Chili Davis or the analytics team that wanted him to be more of a launch angle type of guy, but that's not who he is. And they got to stop changing that. And that's what sucks. So it's unfortunate, but it is what it is, guys. I don't think Jeff McNeil, I think he's going to be a part of a trade most likely. And that's unfortunate, but we'll have to wait and see. Maybe that game-winning hit yesterday gets him going, gets him in the right mindset that he doesn't have to hit home runs. All we needed to do is get on base, get singles, get doubles, and let the rest of the guys in this lineup who are supposed to be hitting home runs hit home runs. Oh, here he is. Look who's here. Fernando, the enigma of Fernando, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Hey, we won another series, baby. Flying Squirrel finally figured out. Yes, Fernando, I saw the email. I got the notification. I will do it. I make you guys sweat a little bit. I like to make you guys sweat in fantasy a little bit. But yeah, Flying Squirrel was clutch yesterday. Let's see if he can keep it going. Hopefully, I don't know. It's thundering and lightning again out here. So I hope they get this game in. But what can you do, right, guys? All right, guys. Dwight, if you're still around, if you want to ask any questions, please do. Just ask all these questions about whatever you want, trade scenarios, the Mets, the lineup, anything you want to ask for, guys. Hey, SoCal, what's up, buddy? Thank you for tuning in. SoCal, so what we were doing right now, we were just going, we talked a little bit about the series with Pittsburgh, a little bit with the Brewers, but right now we're just asking questions. Whatever questions you got, put it in the chat and I'll answer them. Just, talking about trade scenarios, the rumor that came out about Adam Frazier today or yesterday, mostly. Let's go into that a little bit, whatever you want to do. All right, here we go. We were just talking about that. Look, we were just talking about McNeil, SoCal. Basically, what we were talking about is Jeff McNeil looks like he's coming out of, he's getting out of the happy zone with the Mets and Sandy Olson. And with Adam Frazier, what we're looking at with Adam Frazier, and I think why the Mets are interested in him, because it's exactly what the Mets wanted Jeff McNeil to be, which is a 300 hitter who gets on base in front of the big guys to drive him in. That's what he stopped doing. And I do think if Adam Frazier is a serious rumor, which I think it is, then I wouldn't be surprised if Pittsburgh would want a controllable piece like McNeil, who basically Frazier can just fill in his spot. He's a left-handed batter. He plays second base and he can play outfield. So, hey, I don't think Dominic Smith's going anywhere unless it's a deal that involves somebody really big, because Smith surprised me defensively lately in left field. So, and it looks like Smith's getting it going a little bit, but Conforto's just, I don't know. He's 5 for 48 right now. It's tough, really tough. Sucks because I love Conforto, but you know what? He's streaky. We all know it. He has one good year, one bad year. One good year, one bad year. Last year, he had a really good year. He was one of our best players. This year, he's having a down year. What's that mean? That means he'll probably have a really good year next year. But, you can't pay that guy $200 million to have one good year, one bad year. Uh-oh. We got some beef with Cole and Fernando. Dink Walker is a top 15 pitcher. At this moment, yeah. You know what? Look, Walker had to be healthy. We always know he had the stuff. I mean, he was a top 10 draft pick in the first round by Seattle, and they thought he was going to do big things for him. But again, he got hurt a lot. But he always had the stuff. It was just a matter of can he stay healthy, and he's healthy now, and he's basically pitching. He's basically our best pitcher right now, besides DeGrom. Stroman's tailed off a little bit. Walker's been solid. But I think he can be a top 15 pitcher even going forward. I don't think they're going to go after Fernando Kimbrel, only because I think they're so invested in Diaz. They don't want to – I know it was Brody that made that trade, but I think they're so heavily invested in Diaz that you can't pitch Diaz in any other spot. You see already when he's not in a save situation, he has over a 6 ERA. We saw it yesterday in the first game. He can't come in non-save situations because he sucks. And if you get Kimbrel, I don't know if you guys heard that thunder, but it's crazy outside right now. But if you get Kimbrel, you're going to have to pitch him in the ninth inning. And Kimbrel is probably just as bad as Diaz in non-safe situations. So you're not really helping the issue. You're basically hurting it. And I don't think Kimbrel can be an eighth inning guy. I know you just said that in the chat. I don't think so. That's the problem, you know? But Hendricks and Bryant, I think that's an option. You know, I said it in my video the other day. Hendricks and Bryant are a possibility, especially if you're just looking to get a solid number 3, number 4 type of pitcher with one of the best offensive players in baseball in Bryant, who is versatile, who can play first, who can play left field, right field, and third base, obviously. But I don't think Kimbrel is an option. Oh yeah, Hayden, yeah, absolutely. You know, like I said, I think Bauer is a product of the sticky stuff and a product of a guy who just had an all-world season last year for Cincinnati in a shortened season. And I think he benefited. Obviously, he benefited. He's getting $40+ million from the Dodgers. And now we got this whole harassment issue now that the Mets got lucky. Because, look, at the end of the day, the Mets were going to pay Bauer. If Bauer didn't play his bullshit with the Dodgers, he'd be a Met right now, and Tyrone Walker wouldn't be. So it would have been a disaster for the Mets. It would have been typical Mets, basically. But luckily, we got Walker, and Walker's been better than Bauer. No doubt about it. All right, guys, let me check. SoCal, yeah, I like this question. Okay, I'm gonna check the standings right now in the Central because I want to answer your questions good. You know, right? Gonna go. Okay, so right now Cincinnati is 6 games out of the lead, behind Milwaukee. I don't think Cincinnati is good enough, and the guys that they have that can be possible trade bait, I think I think they're actually a couple of games. I don't know if they're ahead in the wild card. Let me see. They're not. So we all know the both wild card teams are going to come out of the West. We know that. So if Cincinnati doesn't win the division, then I'm making the playoffs. If I'm Cincinnati, and obviously I'm not a fan of Cincinnati. If I'm Cincinnati, I think they could rebuild this team really fast with young, solid, really good prospects. Trading a Luis Castillo, trading a Sonny Gray, trading a Suarez, trading the Castellanos, who's killing it this year. I think they have so many guys that they can make this team probably good in a year or two with all these big prospects they can get back for all these guys. Because clearly, with the guys they got, remember, they paid Castellanos because they thought they were going to be better, and they're not. You know, I mean, they're 4 games over 500. They're not terrible. They're 7-3 in their last 10, but Milwaukee's 7-3 in their last 10. So, look, if I can get Castellanos, I get him in a heartbeat. I don't give a shit. If we have to trade Smith, we trade Smith. Castellanos is a beast. I take him in a heartbeat. I love that guy. But with it, I think they're going to be sellers only because I think it's fool's gold. I think they're going to do what too many teams make a mistake on. Like, look at it. What was it? If it was 2016 when the Yankees traded all those guys. They traded Chapman. You know, they traded players, and they got back big-time pieces that they thought were going to be great for them, you know, Torres and play stuff like that. But look what they did. And, you know, it clearly kind of worked out for the Yankees for the most part. But a lot of the times when you go for it and you put – I mean, I don't know what the Reds can trade to be buyers because – like, what are they willing to give up? You know, they don't have great prospects. They're okay. They're in the middle of the pack when it comes to prospects. But I don't know if they're willing to give away their big-time prospects to bring in a big-time piece, like another starting pitcher or maybe a big-time bat that they might need in their lineup. So it's hard to think that can they really be buyers or they're just – I really think they're going to sell. So, yeah, I would think they're going to sell. But again, you know what? These guys, a lot of these teams now, they think they're better than they are. But again, the big problem this year is that if you're not winning the division, you're not making a wild card because the West is already taking care of that. There's going to be 3 West Coast teams in the playoffs in the playoffs this year, and it's clear it's going to be the Dodgers, the Padres, and the Giants out of the West. So you're going to have one team in the East and one team in the Central. And they said it on the broadcast yesterday. If the season ended today, the Mets would be facing the Brewers in the division series. So we got to win the division. So to answer your question, long story short, I think they're going to be sellers. I don't think tonight's game is going to be rained out. But then again, we got 3 more games. They might do a doubleheader. Who knows? It's not looking nice. I just heard thunder and lightning, and it's raining right now. So unfortunately, it might not happen, but we just got to wait and see. To your lips, to God's ears, Brian and Kendricks. I'll take that in a heartbeat. Well, Castro is a product of the sticky stuff. It's obvious. It is. Ever since they cracked down, Castro hasn't been as good. Diaz, he's fine. Diaz is fine in safe situations. Rojas has to stop pitching this freaking guy in tie games and non-save situations. They have to stop it. They keep on trying it, and it's failing. He has over a 6 ERA in non-save situations. Stop putting them there. You have Familia, who's been great this year. You got Lugo, who came back and has been really good. If you need somebody to get you through an inning, to hold the lead, or in a tie game, or in a one-run game where we're losing and we're a little bit behind, don't pitch Diaz to save the day and try to keep them close. You got guys in the bullpen who can do that. You got Drew Smith, you got Familia, you got Lugo, you got Loop. Use those guys. Stop using Diaz in non-save situations, and he'll be fine. Well, I see it as this. It depends on who you're trading for. I think, in my opinion, to be safe, look, you got Lindor for the next 10 years. Most likely McNeil's going to be here, right? Mauricio is not a third baseman. They don't play him at third base. They never tried him at third base. If they really wanted, if Mauricio was untouchable, he would be playing third base right now in the minor leagues. He's not. He's still playing shortstop. So what does that tell you? That tells you that there's one guy in the system that is untouchable, and that is Alvarez. So Beatty is not untouchable as well. Look, if you get Chris Bryant and you have to trade Mauricio to get him, and that's obviously with Bryant comes Hendricks as well. So I would give Mauricio up for a Bryant Hendricks. Only because worst case scenario, if we do not sign Bryant, at least we know we got Beatty and Vientos in the minors who possibly can come up next year. Most likely Vientos, who can be a stopgap for a guy like Beatty. Or you still got J.D. Davis, but I think J.D. Davis would be in that deal, with any deal, with the Donaldson deal, with the Bryant deal. J.D. Davis is probably going to be in that package. Davis and Mauricio can probably get the deal done for Bryant. And I think if the Mets are smart and they pay attention to what's going on, you got to pay attention to what's you got to put the eyes on the prize here and have this thing. We got the money now. I don't think the Mets are going to trade for Chris Bryant and not do everything they can to sign him, because that's a guy that I want on my team for the next 6 years. He's still at the peak of his prime. 28 to 32 is in his prime. If you give Bryant a 6 or 7 year deal, you can at least get 4 to 5 really good all-star seasons from Bryant. So when we're looking into a trade, it's not about money anymore. The Mets will do everything they can to try to sign that guy. That thunder's loud, guys. I don't know if you heard it. Woo. Yeah, it's true. They do. But you know what? Things are changing for the most part, you know? They made a lot of solid moves this year, so I can't kill them, you know? I agree. I agree. Until look, let's hope the woman is not lying about this to get attention and get money. But again, an accusation needs to get investigated. You should never put your hands on a woman. You should never force a woman to have sex. That's obvious. I don't have to tell you guys that. But we've seen it with all professional sports. If you got talent, no matter what you do, if you're not in jail, you're going to get suspended for a little while and you're going to be picked up by a team. Because we've seen it with the Mets, with Familia, with Reyes. They brought these, they kept these guys. They brought these guys back. If you're talented, if you can produce, if you're valuable to a franchise, they will put you on their team and say, oh, we know what he's done is wrong and blah, 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 and all that nonsense. This is the profession. This is the life. This is the world we live in now. Even though this whole new woke world, so to speak, and everything's out there now with social injustice and, you know, pride and the LGBT community and the woman movement and all that and the female movement, which is all great to see. There needs to be more attention on all of that. But when it comes to professional sports, if you're not in jail, you'll probably get a second chance if you're talented. And that's the problem with today's sports. Yo, don't worry about it. I'm not even in the last place and I don't even try. How about that? Yeah, absolutely. They're gonna pitch him again. Because he's making $40 million. All right, right now he's on paid leave right now until he gets suspended. He's gonna get suspended. But again, look, if you're doing a business decision, you're gonna, you know, when it comes to business, you're paying this guy $40 million. You're gonna pitch him. If he's not in jail and he's not suspended by the league, you're gonna pitch him. It's just this is the way sports goes nowadays. It's unfortunate. It's sad, but let all the facts come out first. Bauer's an asshole, so I wouldn't be surprised if he did do this to this poor girl. No matter if she agreed to having sex with him or whatever, at the end of the day, it seemed like he kind of forced the issue a little bit. But at the end of the day, he's an asshole. If the investigation proves that he did hurt this woman, he did sexually harass this woman, suspend his ass for the year without pay. Nah, Fernando Davis, man. Listen, you look. Davis can hit. We all know that. But can he play good enough defense at third base? Because if he can't, you can't have him in a lineup. This team showed you all year that we were at one point the worst team in the league in runs scored. Yet we're in first place because of our defense and our pitching. You can't put Davis right now. You probably can put him at third base because you got VR, fine, but you can't rely on JD Davis to be good at third base because if he is, then we're okay. But if he's not and he's a liability, then his bat's not going to be worth it. What shirt idea? Chicks lie for money. That's true. It's true. But again, if there was a lot of information that came out, look, we know there's a lot of false accusations out there. And, it happens. But there still has to be an investigation. I honestly think if a woman's lying about being harassed and the poor guy gets thrown through the mud, that girl should go to jail. Because not only do you waste the the law enforcement's time for real situations, a guy can lose his job, lose his career, you basically can destroy his life on a false accusation. But yet the women don't get any jail time for a false accusation. So that's the problem. Oh, and that's oh, okay. Let's see. What is it? What was the shirt? What was it supposed to be called again? Let's see. What was it again? I know it was something like very like egotistical. Something very cocky. I forgot what it was, to be honest with you. Am I trading? No. If I'm gonna lose, I'm not gonna help nobody. You crazy? Oh, even though you won't call, he sucks. He'll lose. He won't win you any games. Well, this is what I'm gonna a lot of people, even Fernando, just not you, but oh, eyes on the prize. Look, a lot of people, even in the comments, and some people emailed me. I didn't even know some of these people subscribe to me, but they asked me about like my channel merchandise, and I'm like, I can't actually do that yet until I'm monetized, but I'm gonna make a shirt. I don't know if it's gonna be Talking Mets with Rob and then have something underneath it with like a slogan. But Free Bauer, I'm not starting that shirt. No, I don't like Bauer as it is, but he does deserve innocence until proven guilty. That's all I gotta say about that. But I think I'm gonna make a shirt. I think I'm gonna make at least a shirt. I'll probably come up with some ideas, and I'll just put it to a vote for you guys. So that'll be fun. But it will be like Talking Mets with Rob, and I'll come up with a slogan. You know, as you see with my intro, let me show you real quick. This right here. So something like that. I might do something like that. Or For Real Meth Fans, which is another one of my slogan. I think I'm going to do that. So I think I will do that, actually. I think I'll do Talking Mets with Rob and the slogan For Real Meth Fans. I think you guys are like that. What do you think? I got to make some money off this channel. I'm joking. No. Look, what is the man on YouTube right now? You know, people like him. You know, he's got 7,000 subscribers. I should start going on his videos and start chatting. Maybe people will start looking in. You never know. Fernando, people like Wardy, man. Not everybody's like you, man. You gotta go into the chat and get everybody over here. Why not? See, somebody posted a comment. Let's see. All right, let's see. Let's check this out really quick. Hold on one second, guys. Sorry about that. All righty. All right. But like I said, guys, the Mets are going into their last series before the All-Star break against the Pirates. We got 4 games. Hopefully we get the game in today. It is raining. Hopefully we get the game in. The Mets took another series from the Brewers. Mets continue to win series, keeps them in first place. That's all we got to do. It's getting closer to the trade deadline. About 2 weeks away, 2.5 weeks away. Well, that's actually 3 weeks away. The good news is the Mets are going to be involved in everybody. That's really nice to see, because now we know that something's going to happen. There's going to be a big move. We know that. I will be doing a trade deadline special on that day. I might even start it early in the morning, like around 10 o'clock, 10:30, 11 o'clock. And we're going to go straight through the trade deadline to the 4 o'clock deadline. Or I think it's 5 o'clock this year. But whatever time it is, I'm going to be there until that moment. And then I'm going to stay live even longer after that to talk about what went down with the Mets. Talk about the trades that might have happened, that did not happen, trades that broke down, etc., etc., etc. So it's going to be a long day. Usually those days are on a Sunday, or it might be a Tuesday this year. I'm not even sure. Let's see. It's on a Saturday, even better. So it's on a Saturday this year. So we'll see how much fun it's going to be. Oh. Nah, I'm not going to fall asleep. Don't worry about that. I'm going to be here all day. All day. I'm going to be a pain in the ass to you guys. So I hope you guys are going to be tuning in the whole day. Thank you, Cole. I'm glad you like it. I got a lot of comments on that intro. It's pretty cool. It was a pain in the ass to do, but it's pretty cool. But yeah, I got that one. Let me show you other ones. You probably seen it in one of my videos, but let me just show you really quick. I got this one. Which is pretty cool. And then I got this one that and I got that one. So I'm gonna do more. It's pretty cool. I'm gonna do it like an outro type of video at the end too. Little see you later type of montage like that. So hey, Fernando. No. Hey, listen. Nobody said you can't turn it off, right? Nah, as soon as Lowry comes back, he's gonna complain about his knee. That ain't happening. Sweaty, what's up, buddy? What's up? All right, so I know you just tuned in. Thank you for tuning in. So we were talking about it. I'm going to say really quick before I go. So, Sweaty, basically we were talking about the rumors about Adam Frazier that just came out about 2 days ago. Also, the trades about Hendricks and Bryant, or most likely Bryant right now, Josh Donaldson, Jose Barrios, those type of options. Focus in on those. I'm going to focus in on the big moves. Daniel, how you doing? So the thing is, with all these trade scenarios, there's a lot of options. I think Bryant is more realistic for a blockbuster type of trade other than Donaldson. But Adam Frazier would be a sneaky good move for this Mets team. Only because he hits for average. We need a guy who does that because McNeil is not that guy anymore. And exactly what the Mets are doing shows that they're 3 weeks before the deadline, and the Mets are already doing they're already doing their investigation, their due diligence on what can they get, what can they try to get. Look at all the rumors. It's not even the trade deadline yet, even the week of, and we hear all these rumors already. That's a good sign. That means Sandy Olson is working, and Steve Cohen is giving him the money to do so. So that's what I think is going to happen. But Chris Bryant, Kyle Hendricks, Jose Barrios, Josh Donaldson, Adam Frazier. I think one of those three are really going to happen for sure. But it depends on who else is in those guys. Is going to be for those guys when it comes to what the price is going to be for a Bryant or a Donaldson and a Frazier. Because there was rumors a couple of weeks ago that the Yankees were in on Frazier, but the Yankees were actually still in it at the time. Right now, they're watching the Mets do damage. So, Daniel, let me get to your question real quick. Do you want the Mets to sign Marcus Stroman? I'm still on the fence about that, only because I don't think Marcus Stroman is as good as he was April and May, and I don't think he's as bad as he was this past month of June. So I'm on the fence with him. I think the Mets will sign him because I think they like him, but he has to be a number 3 or a 4. he can't be a top 2 pitcher. He can't be our number 2. So he has to be a 3 or 4 type of guy. He has to be solid. Hopefully Carrasco comes back, which is like a trade definition. Daniel, I know you missed it. You probably missed it earlier, but with Jeff McNeil, the Mets are talking about Adam Frazier. And with Adam Frazier, he's basically Jeff McNeil of 2019. The guy who hits well over 300, who gets on base, has decent speed, and gets on base for the guys with the big bats. Jeff McNeil is not that guy anymore. Jeff McNeil swings for the fences and hits for a low average right now. And I think the Mets are not a fan of Jeff McNeil anymore. I think they're losing all hope with Jeff McNeil. And I wouldn't be surprised if Jeff McNeil ends up in a deal for Adam Frazier because of the possibility of Frazier being a contact guy who hits for a high average with Sandy Alderson lows. So, and that would be your replacement for second base, Frazier. So, yeah, JD Davis for Bryant, I think it's going to take more than that. JD Davis, probably a top 10 prospect, top 6 maybe. All right, Daniel. Hey, J-Star. We're all glad we didn't get Trevor Bauer. We all are. Trevor Bauer would have been a disaster. It would have been typical Mets, though. That's for sure. But as we've seen, it's not the typical Mets anymore. All right, guys. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Sorry if you missed out on the stream. If you missed out on it, go back, watch it over, guys. We had a lot of really good questions today on the chat. Answered a lot of questions. Talked about trade rumors. Talked about the Pittsburgh series. Talked about the Brewer series. We had a lot of good talk about Mets trades that are possibly going on. So, guys, what I want to say is thank you for tuning in. Got a couple of new subscribers. I want to thank you guys for that. Dwight, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing. I'll see you guys tomorrow before the game for another preview. Look out for my video tomorrow about the Adam Frazier possible rumors and trades. I'll give you some scenarios. I'll give you some trade scenarios. And I'll give you his numbers. I'll give you his contract. I'll give you all that fun stuff in the video tomorrow. Fernando, I will accept the trade. Guys, I love you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. You already know, guys. Hit on that like button. Hit on that subscribe button. As always, Mets fans, let's go Mets. Have a good night, everybody. Let's get that W. Have a good night, guys. Let's go Mets. LFGM. Have a good night, guys.